A pleasant good evening to all of my friends, relatives, well wishers, and others. This decision to go live has been on my mind for weeks now. Ever since I have been forced to file fixed date application number 84 in the Supreme Court of Judicature. This case is scheduled to be heard on Friday, the 22nd of March, 2024, before Justice Harnanen in the Supreme Court. It will not be a live session. We'll be using Microsoft Teams to handle this case. This is not the first time that I'm having a case like this in the Supreme Court of Judicature, Guyana. I have had to take part in a case on the 17th of November 2023 against the same respondents, that is, the Commissioner of Police of Guyana and the Licensed Firearms Board. Why has this second case become necessary? When the case was heard on the November 17th, it was adjudicated by the Chief Justice of Guyana, Roxanne George Wilshire. At that time, the respondents sought to have my case struck out. However, they were told by the Chief Justice that she would not be making a decision to strike out the case. Rather, she gave them an order to make a decision one way or the other with respect to my firearms license application. To my dismay and shock, this order that was given by the Chief Justice has not been complied with. In simple language, the respondents are right now in contempt of that court order. It seems that these persons have taken it upon themselves to disobey an order of the court. How is this possible? Is what I'd like to know. If it were myself who was in contempt of a court order from a judge, penalties and consequences would have been rapidly forthcoming. I may have been arrested, I may have been jailed, or who knows whatever other sanctions, legal or otherwise, might have been instituted against me. But here is the Commissioner of Police of our country called Guyana disobeying a court order. This is more than shocking. I've been asking myself, how will this commissioner of police reconcile his present position? Can it be reconciled? What sanctions may be meted out against the commissioner of police? However, there seems to be none forthcoming. Now, this travail might have had its inception since the year 2014. Just to let you know that in 2013, I remigrated from the Commonwealth of the Bahamas as a teacher. I had spent my life teaching in Guyana. I resigned my teaching profession in Guyana in 1996. And by 2007, I was once again working as a teacher in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. There I was able, because of my salary at the time, you know, the exchange rate of the Bahamian dollar is nearly like an American dollar. And so I was able to acquire certain things which I thought would have been good for me in my life, and especially during my retirement. The result was I purchased a vessel out of the United States, and it came to me. The model is a Chris Craft boat, which has the facilities to be used in ocean going waters. It has radio, it has GPS, it has all the necessary items that are needed on a boat that will be venturing into ocean waters. Of course, not in the middle of the ocean, but one can be on the ocean and be in relatively calm waters. It's a 22-foot vessel. Now, I brought this boat back to Guyana in the year 2013. Not only a boat, I came back with a Cherokee Jeep and several other personal property. When I arrived in Guyana, I was told that in order to make use of my vessel, I would have to acquire the necessary knowledge and expertise. I therefore had to attend courses at the Christian Labor College, become qualified as a boat master, right? Do all the necessary theoretical and practical examinations, register with the Marine Administration of Guyana, and ensure that my boat was ready, and I was ready. I received my license captaincy in the year 2019. All this time, I was applying for a firearm, which started since the year 2014. At that time, it was being processed by the Regional Administration of Region 3, Essequibo Islands, West Demerara, through the police department. At one time, I had reached so far that I was confident that in a little while, I'll be having my firearm, which was a necessary tool for boat captains. As a matter of fact, in the possession of the captain, all firearms should be lodged, whether they are owned by someone else captain is required to find out whoever on the vessel is in possession of a firearm and to take control of that firearm until that person is departing the vessel. Now, out in the public domain, there has been, or there have been two kinds of ideas. One idea suggests, according to Section 16 of the Licensed Firearms Act, it states clearly that no person should be in possession of a firearm unless that person owns a police permit. However, in Section 20, it is stated almost verbatim, notwithstanding anything stated in Section 16, the following shall have effect. And on reading this section, which is entitled Exemptions from Needing a Permit, categories of persons are described who are exempted from being in a possession of a permit to have a firearm on their person. Now, as far as I'm concerned, all of these statements should be in the public domain. But it seems that some people are benefiting from persons who do not know. And they do not want these persons to know what the law states. They would make it appear one way just to suit themselves, to be able to enhance their pockets by having some people pay for what they don't need. The state of affairs in Guyana with respect to firearms is appalling. Appalling, very appalling to say the least. I have been able to see published in the public domain that 30,000 firearm applications are pending. You know what is meant by pending? It's being processed, but the delays are so much that these applications are piling up. To my amazement, there seems to be a conflict of ideas between the Minister of Home Affairs, Mr. Robeson Ben, and Mr. Barra Jagdeo, the executive president, as he calls himself, of Guyana. Mr. Jagdeo has stated before a public meeting in Alexander Village that 30,000 applications are pending. And I had the unfortunate incident of being in the office of the Minister of Home Affairs. And he says to me that Mr. Barra Jagdeo doesn't know what he's talking about. Now, how could there be such conflicting views between two senior members of our present administration? Applications are pending because, as far as I'm concerned, some of our leaders do not want those who deserve to have a firearm to be in possession of one. For whatever may be their wicked intentions, it's clear I'm hoping that when FDA 84 is heard by Justice Hananan in a few days from now, that some decision would be made so that I can be in possession of a firearm to be used to protect my safety and security and other persons who may be with me on my vessel at any point in time. I think that that is fair. Any other circumstances that are allowed to take place are definitely unfair. And I love to struggle for fairness. It has been the hallmark of my life. And I am not abandoning this attitude at this point in time. So, come March 22nd, 2024, I would hope that those who have to make a decision would make a proper legal decision with regards to my FDA application number 84, in which I am suing the persons who are the respondents in this case for damages in three areas: punitive damages, that is, that they must be punished for carrying out illegal acts, unlawful acts, that as a consequence of their delays, all the circumstances that they have come up with in order to create delay, which has just been ensuring that I do not have the opportunity to relax on my vessel. Leisure, the right to leisure, is something enshrined in our Constitution. The right to leisure, the right to recreation. Law abiding citizens should have those rights. And I am determined to battle to the end. And I have already mobilized as many sympathetic forces as possible. And they are multiplying daily. Where this will all end, I cannot guarantee. But things have a way of working themselves out, especially for people who would like to act properly as against those who would like to act improperly. Thanks, viewers, for listening. Stay connected, and we'll see the results. Good evening. Have a pleasant night rest, God willing.